Andrew Jager, Marketing Manager for Walters Gardens. Today in this video we're going to look at the different Helleborus that Walters Gardens has to offer. A lot of different cool varieties. We're going to look at the sizes and then we're going to go over just a couple quick tips about growing them. So first off, what makes Helleborus cool? Well, there's three things. First, just kind of the different amount of colors and variety that you can get. So you can get a single flowered one like this one here, or you can get doubles. As far as color goes, you have a lot of options. They come in white, yellow, pink, red, near blacks. You can get cool spotting patterns on the interior. You get different patterns and colors on the backs of the sepals as well. So a lot to love there. As far as blooming goes, this is a Helleborus hybridus type. So that's a composite. It's a couple of different species blended together. Common name for that is Lenten Rose because they bloom so early in the year. This is going to be one of the first plants in your garden to show color every year. It's a perennial, so it'll come back year after year. So if you need something that's going to bloom even before the frost is done, Helleborus, that's one to consider for your garden. Helleborus are naturally deer and rabbit resistant. So they have an irritant in them that deer and rabbit, unless they're incredibly hungry, usually do not like to eat. So that keeps them untouched early in the year and looking great in your garden. So if you need a reason to add Helleborus to your garden, there's three. So let's talk about the Hellebore program here at Walters Gardens. Hellebores are one of the few things that we do from seed that we actually cross ourselves. So with Hellebores, they're very difficult to get established in tissue culture. They don't come true from cuttings. They're too difficult to propagate those ways. They're a bit of a slow grower, so getting them to go by division is really not a profitable way to propagate them. So we do these as seed crosses. So we have our batch of plants. This is our stock block that we'll make the crosses on. We have some of the plants that we like more that we then cross with all the other ones in order to keep the desirable features of that seed strain together. We'll then grow the seed out, we'll germinate it, and those will eventually become the liners that we sell on to our customers. It is one of the most beautiful parts of our company though, because it's where we have all of these beautiful full-grown plants. So you can see exactly what the plant is going to become. So this one that I am next to, this is a variety called Sandy Shores. It is in our Honeymoon series. For the most part, we have two series. Honeymoon, which is all of our single flowering varieties, and then Wedding Party, which is all of our doubles. So what are some of the characteristics that we're looking for when we're selecting Hellebores? One of the things that we like to see are nice big flowers. We like to see a lot of branching along the stems. But then one of the key things that we're looking for are flowers that are a little bit more angled up or sideways facing. So in a variety like this, it's doing a pretty good job. A lot of sideways facing flowers. When you get more, starts to weep down a little bit. Hellebores are naturally predisposed to have a downward facing flower. This is something that they've developed naturally over time because they bloom so early and there's usually so much spring moisture. So they develop the downward facing flower to protect the pollen, keep it dry, allow them to be pollinated in spring, and then propagate themselves that way. So we're kind of trying to work against that a little bit. We don't necessarily want an upward facing flower. If you do that, you kind of get a bird bath effect where all of the anthers collect and they look ugly, and then that could also cause disease to the plant. So we're looking for a sideways facing flower. Everything still drains out, and you can also see whatever beautiful pattern is on the inside of the flower. So let's look at some of the varieties that we have in our catalog, some of the most popular, and then some of the new and upcoming ones that you might want to keep your eye out for. So first, let's talk about the one I'm next to. This one is called Sandy Shores. So it is a beautiful one. It's got this nice salmon pink back that lasts for a very long time. You usually get more than a month of color out of this particular variety, and then nicely contrasted with a bit of a spotted blushing pink interior. So that is Sandy Shores. Another one, if you like yellow but want something a little bit brighter, this one is called Rio Carnival. So this one has that intense burgundy interior Nice big eye zone, and then a lot of these yellow backed flowers on it as well. This is one of the ones where we frequently see that sideways facing flower, and all around just great variety, very vigorous. Can't recommend this one enough. So if you like Rio Carnival but you wanted more, then we have the double version of that. So this is Father of the Bride. It's in our wedding party series. It started blooming already a little bit before even Rio Carnival did. So we're starting to get into its later season color. Typically it comes up with a much more intense yellow color, but you can still see the large burgundy eye inside. Far more petals because it is a double. And again, this one has really good side-facing flowers. This is a little bit younger. This one's new to our catalog for 2024-25. So it's just coming out on the market, but one I definitely recommend that you watch for and add to your wish list this coming spring. And then among the darkest varieties that we have is Helleborus Wedding Party Dark and Handsome. And not only are the flowers a near black and some of the deepest in color that we have, but also on average this strain has some of the darkest foliage to match, with nice bronzing and dark coloration in the leaves. So then we have one of the original members of our wedding party series. This is True Love. What we're going for with this strain are the nice solid maroon red flowers, nice dark color, fully double in the plants. And again, looking for that side-facing flower as best we can. So let's take a look at what product you could expect to receive from us. So we offer Hellebores in a 20 count, 30 count, or 128 count tray. I am next to a 20 count tray right now, or several 20 count trays of French Kiss. So these plants, when started from seed, tend to be fairly slow to mature when compared to other perennials. They're also a little bit of a odd crop because they bloom so early in the spring. They're such a cold season plant. They really don't do much growth in the summer. So we typically recommend getting your plants in fall, having them potted up, take advantage of what growing time you can get during those cool months. And then you're going to see the most activity when they're breaking out of their winter dormancy. That's when they're going to put the most size on. That's when you're going to see the most flowers and them looking the best. So from that aspect, they're a great early season crop. One of the nicest things you can use to pull early season traffic into your garden center before you start getting all those other beautiful spring and summer flowering things to get going for you. So whether you're preparing for this season or looking ahead to next, some of these varieties do tend to be in short supply, so order early is always the best way to make sure you get the plants that you want. We hope you consider adding some Hellebores to your garden. They are a truly beautiful plant and one of the great early season garden performers that you can add. Until next time.